Hello and welcome back to the NFL Week 6 Underdog Pick'em Show. We got 5 nice picks for you today, and before we get into it, come join Underdog. If you have not already, use promo code LineStar, and it can get you 1 free month of LineStar as well as some free customer bonus funds. So try it out. You can use our picks that we're going to go over right now. There is a link in bio down there. Click it, go through it. Now, let's get into it a little bit. I am your host, Tyler Wiemann, and come join us at Props Optimizer. It is our free prop betting platform. You can use Underdog on it. You can use various other spots. It is absolutely free. It is on iOS and Android. Or if you do not want to see any ads, it's $10 a month. Now let's dive into it. We're going to start off by going over a quick review of week 5. Didn't go too well for us. We were 2-3. We had the injury bug bite us. Hampton left early with an injury. Kyler Murray hurt his foot, had 25 receiving yards. We lost that one. Then Michael Pittman was on his way, but absolutely blowout there and just didn't need to throw the ball that much. Unfortunately, that is going to be an issue with Michael Pittman if the Colts keep playing as well as they are. Brees crushed for us. Rashid Shaheed crushed for us. Now, let's get into this week's picks and break it all down. First, once again, promo code LineStar, and if you are entering it, make sure you use the Bootober boost that they're doing, where every single day there's a 30% boost. So make sure you use that. That brings this up to 24.21x. We got we got Stefon Diggs, Ashton, Jeanty, Xavier Worthy, and Calvin Ridley. Now let's break down every pick right now. So starting with Calvin Ridley. I know you guys are probably hating that I'm going back to this but there is a distinct reason, and that is 212 of his 272 yards this year have been versus zone defense. The Raiders play the highest amount of zone in the league. I think this is a spot where Calvin Ridley could eat. Calvin Ridley has an average EPA per play of 0.21, which is a very, very good number. Think we can go Calvin Ridley higher than 42.5 receiving yards. LineStar's at 52. The consensus is at 51.8. I think Calvin Ridley, once again, is in a good spot. He absolutely crushed for us last week. 5 for 131. I used him on the normal prop show, which also is a nice time to say make sure you watch that one as well as the Pick'em show. You can use informations and mix and match however you want. The sports betting, just sports books player prop show will be out sometime on Thursday. Now, Calvin Ridley, 5 receptions for 131, 10 targets last week. His average yards per reception versus zone is 16.3 yards. He's getting deep. His catch rate is only 48%, but that is actually better than his catch rate versus man. I love the spot for him versus a Raiders team that is going to play a ton of zone. Raiders are also 29th versus the wide receiver, 168.6 yards per game to the WR. Think this is a very good matchup for Calvin Ridley. And the only bummer part is that we do have him only 14th on our team defense tool versus the wide receiver 1. Outside of that, everything in this matchup looks extremely good. And really, 14th is about average, so it's fine. And we know the Raiders D is okay. It's not bad. It's not great. And I think Calvin Ridley and Cam Ward can get this one together to go over in that spot. Next, we got Xavier Worthy. I got to go back to this one. I know I was all over it from Monday night, and it didn't come through for us, but he is still getting the targets. He had 9 targets Monday night, had 8 targets versus Baltimore. 17 in 2 weeks is a very solid number when you're talking about a matchup versus the Detroit Lions, who are 26th versus wide receiver this year. Also, their back end got decimated with injuries over this last week. If you go back to last year, this secondary was just getting beat over and over and over again because they could not stop anybody with all these secondary injuries. They're right back in that spot this week. And I got to go to Patrick Mahomes' favorite option. Only averaging 41.7 yards a game so far this year, but that is a bit misleading because the first game he went out after like 1 snap. Over the last 4 games, so really the last 2 for him, he's averaging 70.5 yards. I think this is a very interesting spot for Worthy versus a very beatable Detroit Lions secondary that has been massacred by injuries. And Detroit 19th versus the wide receiver 1, and some of their top DBs are now out. That is only going to be a better matchup than it was prior. Next, we got Ashton, Jeanty just on the other side of that Calvin Ridley game. We're hoping for some offense there. While it is 2 meh teams, I do like the path for both of these guys. Ashton Jeanty is in a great spot. We have Tennessee 31st versus running back 1. Jeanty gets a huge bump up in the rush attempts and rushing yards spot. Jeanty has started to come into his own. He started feeling it. 138 yards versus Chicago. Last week, 67 rushing yards versus the Colts in a game where they lost by 34 points. He is going to get the ball early and often, and I love this spot for him. So far, the Tennessee Titans have given up 122.6 rushing yards per game. Jeanty is going to get pretty much all of that. I love this spot for him. And on the year, he's averaging almost 70 yards a game. Over the last 4, it's almost 78 yards a game. We are going higher on his line in this spot at 72.5 rushing yards. 79 is our LineStar projection. 77 is the consensus. Once again, it is a great spot. I don't think I went over that Worthy line, 59.5 receiving yards. LineStar's at 70.7 and consensus at 61.2. Just to put that out there. Next, we got Stefon Diggs. Stefon Diggs has come into his own lately. The line, 57.5 receiving yards. The LineStar projection, 60.6. Consensus is also 60.6. Now, this is another spot. The New Orleans Saints are playing zone at an extremely high level. They are playing only 12% man. They are playing 84% zone. And Diggs plus May has combined for an 81% catch rate versus zone. He has 184 yards versus zone this year, 10.8 yards per reception, and an EPA per target of 0.32, a very, very good number. Ridley was good at 0.21. Diggs at 0.32 is especially good. Now, the last 2 games, he's been targeted heavily. 7 targets versus Carolina, 12 versus Buffalo, and that is 140 or 247 yards over the last 2 weeks. And he's in an interesting spot versus the Saints. The Saints have been able to stay into games. They run a lot of plays. Their offense runs fast, allowing the opponents to also run more plays. And I think that just benefits Stefon Diggs here. Diggs on the year averaging 71.8 yards per game. Over the last 4, it's up to 75.5. And the Saints D, 128.4 yards to the wide receiver with 1 touchdown a game. Opponent rank is 9. But I do not think that tells the entire story here, because teams haven't had to pass that much against the Saints, just because you can run on them and keep the lead. But all together, it is a very interesting spot for Stefon Diggs, and I think we got to go the higher. And last but surely not least, we got Tetairoa, McMillian, and we are going higher. We're at 62.5 receiving yards. LineStar's at 63. Consensus at 67.6. Tet has been the model of consistency so far this year. While he hasn't had too many boom games, we have a 5-star alert score rating for him. Dallas has just got crushed by wide receivers, ranked 31st in the league over the last 9 with 179.6 yards per game. Meanwhile, Tet, just consistent as they come. He's going to get 8 to 10 targets, and he's going to get you downside 48 yards. That is very unlikely. With the upside of 62. That 48-yard game was a game that they won 30-0. They absolutely dominated Atlanta. This Dallas Cowboys team is going to be able to put up points. They're going to have to throw, and with that, the targets should come to Tet. Tet can beat you a ton of different ways. He is a very good receiver, young receiver, but keeps getting better. And I like this spot for him. He is averaging 70.2 yards per game on the season, 70.8 over the last 4. And Dallas is 32nd in the league versus wide receiver, allowing 188.8 yards per game. But over the last 4, that's up to 215.3. They have been getting crushed, and Tet is at the very top of our team defense tool, averaging an extra 20.75 yards per game to the WR1. I love this spot for Tet. If you like that and you do expect some offense in this game, you also could run it back with Pickens. I do love the spot for Pickens. I just cut him out of this show, but he probably will be in the other one today. I like the spot for him as well. So let's round it all out here. We got our 5 picks for the day. We got Tetairoa and McMillian higher, 64.5. We got Stefon Diggs higher than 56.5. Ashton Jeanty higher than 72.5. Xavier Worthy higher than 60.5. And Calvin Ridley higher than 42.5. Make sure to hit that promo for 30% payout boost. Brings it up to 24.21x. Let me know if you're tailing with me, or hey, if you're fading me, by all means, go for it. Let us know any of your other picks in the comments. Let's help each other out to beat the books. And also remember, promo code LineStar. You guys have a good one. We'll be back with more later this week. Peace.